Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and our guest today is Martha Griffin. She's the author of Sam's Birthmark. Martha, welcome back to the show, or welcome to the show. You and I are old friends. Welcome to the show for the first time.
I'm so glad to be here, Devin.
Martha, you and I got acquainted when you wrote your book. You did a crowdfunding campaign. I wrote a little Forbes piece about your success on crowdfunding, and then I put that in a book.
Right.
Crowdfunding for social good. But you've never been on the show, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. And I thought it would be fun to kind of catch up, find out how things have been going for you. So first, tell us about Sam's Birthmark. What is the book? Martha?
It's kind of repeating what we just talked about.
Yeah, so see if you can turn your volume down more and give us just tell us about your book.
Well, my son Barron was born. He was born with a port wine stain covering half of his face, and we discovered there'd never been a children's book where the character actually had a birthmark. 1 in 10 children are born with a birthmark on their body, and 10% of those are vascular birthmarks, which is something that's not on the outside. It's on the has to do with the capillaries inside their skin. So it's not something that you just have like some sort of surgery and take off. It's an ongoing life problems. You could have different things called Sturge-Weber, where the capillaries go way into the skin and the kids have seizures, or there's just the kids are like, my son is checked for glaucoma every 6 months, and it's a little more than just skin. It's more than skin deep, for both on it can cause health issues as well.
Well, so you decided to write a book about this situation to help inspire your son. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Sorry, 1 second. Can you say that one more time?
So you decided to write a book to help your son, and tell us a little bit about the book.
Oh yeah, it's a book for the age groups from about 3 years old to 8 years old, and it's just about how everybody's special. Some people have curly hair, some people have freckles, some people need glasses, and that everyone is different. It's not about the way you look on the outside, it's about how you are on the inside. And each one of us has unique qualities that make us special.
So Martha, I'm going to mute your microphone while I ask a question, and that should slow down the echo that you're getting. I'm hoping that will. So Martha, we're really excited about your success, and you started this book with a crowdfunding campaign. So before you even produced it, sold it, you did the crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, raised over $30,000. I think you got a lot out of that in addition to money, but tell us, if you would, about how you raised that money. That's a lot of money to raise with crowdfunding. Let me unmute your microphone if I can.
That was the most amazing experience ever, because since there's never been a book like that, and there are parents that have birthmark children all over the world, that when we decided to post it and do it through Kickstarter, it just went viral. I am still getting, in fact, I mailed a book to Hong Kong last week, and the mom just sent me a picture of with her 2-year-old daughter with the book. So our goal wasn't necessarily, what was so cool about crowdfunding in that instance was we could have printed the books and then told all our friends about them, but the birthmark community throughout the world would not have known about it. And so and it was at the beginning of crowdfunding, so people, I would say 50% of the people that donated didn't even know what Kickstarter was. And so it was a huge, huge thing, and it's still, to this day, people are like, that was the first campaign I donated to, and it's such a neat thing, crowdfunding. And why we chose to do that really was so everybody wouldn't just be our Birthmark Dallas community, it was our Birthmark community across the world. And it's still benefiting us by doing it that way.
Well, that was a huge, huge strategic move, and it's exciting to see how that's worked out for you, both in terms of helping you be successful with the crowdfunding, but with success with the book since then. I wonder if you would just go back in time. I know it's been 3 years, but let's go back in time and tell us a little bit about some of the activities you did to generate attention for the crowdfunding campaign.
I believe it was MailChimp, and that was huge. And then the MailChimp we sent that out to everybody that we knew and asked them to forward it to 10 to 11 more people. And it just kept going and going and going. And what was also is we didn't realize, I mean, our son has a birthmark. We've met 10 or 11 other Dallas families, but then you start, when you ask your friends to send it to their friends, then you start getting calls from moms in Jackson that their son has one, and they never even, they never even talked to another birthmark parent. So really, 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 it was Facebook at the time. That was the end all be all. And then promoting it through the Facebook Bachelor Birthmark Foundation sites. And then also just the MailChimp campaign was huge. And then, people like Chris Camilla, who we both know, who's wonderful, he sent it out to everyone that we went to high school with. So that was huge. And that was kind of when it just kept getting bigger and bigger and snowballing.
So as you were building that campaign, did you ever connect with people in the media? I think I wrote about your campaign after it was done, but did other people in the local news or television or radio, did any of those connect with you during the campaign?
Yes. Well, no, not really. We got a lot of, we got on the front of the newspaper after the book came out, but we did not get any press about it beforehand. So it was all organic in what we raised through Kickstarter.
Well, Martha, it's remarkable. It's probably the most successful campaign I've seen with so little media attention, but it shows the power of a campaign to be successful with the benefit of a community. And clearly the community was crying out for what you were offering, and so it was really valued by your community. I wonder if you would tell us a little bit about what's happened with that community and your role in that community since the book was published.
With so little media to be successful with the benefit.
Say that we just being kind of the go-to birthmark mom and birthmark dad, people just continue to contact us for help, or we try and send them to the right resources. We went to the Bachelor Birthmark Foundation conference a few years ago, and that was really neat because we got to meet people that had the book and meet their children. And what I can't stress enough is it seems like in different countries, it depends on where you are, but like in Asia, this mother that I sent the book to, she said that nobody is kind of looked down upon and nobody talks about having a birthmark. And she was able to reach out to 6 other moms, and they have a little community, but that's very rare. And then it seems like people in Australia, I guess they're so spread out, none of them have like a really good, like, they don't have a really good way to meet other birthmark parents. So a lot of these people, yes, they could have gotten on Facebook and found the different organizations. For some reason, they had not. And so a lot of them met through our Facebook page on Sam's Birthmark.
Now, Martha, I think it's fascinating how you've played such an important role. Before we continue our dialogue, I want to ask you to check your browser and see if you have the video player for our interview on in one of your browser windows. Just, it seems to me maybe there's a possibility that you've got that up, and if you close that, that might get rid of that echo. And I apologize for that.
Martha, I think it's fascinating how
Yeah, it sounds like you've got it up in one of your windows that it's turning on.
check your browser and see if you have the video player for our interview.
Okay, I'm checking that.
Browser.
Okay.
It seems to me maybe there's a possibility that you got that.
Hmm. I don't, so I'm sorry. I don't know. It's probably my computer, so I apologize. I'll do my best.
No. It's easy, you know, if you pull up the viewing page, it's not
Okay, I can hear you good now. So maybe I didn't. I didn't even know it. Okay.
All righty. So you really have become a role model in this community, and people really admire you for the work that you're doing. I wonder who you look up to as a role model.
That is a great question. I would have to say mainly it was in this community would be Linda Roselle Shannon. She's the one that started the Vascular Birthmark Foundation in 2014. She's an amazing woman. Her daughter was born with a hemangioma, which is a birthmark that is usually like a strawberry, and it's more like a growth that they're not present when you're born, but they just continue to grow. And then at some point they may get smaller, but she started the Vascular Birthmark Foundation and it's connected. That group just alone is connected over 80,000 people and led them to treatment across the world. Most of the times it's kind of, a lot of times the birthmarks are misdiagnosed at the doctors and they'll say it'll go away, it's an angel's kiss, and that's not the case. And doing laser surgeries and checking for glaucoma, those type of things early is really important. So she's just done, I mean, just amazing woman that has done so much for the birthmark community and just raising awareness about vascular birthmarks. And it's not just on the skin, it's deeper than that.
Wow, interesting. Now, there are, I don't know, 80,000 parents in the world who have children with port wine stain birthmarks, other birthmarks.
Probably more than that. That's just the people they've connected. Yeah.
None of the others wrote a book. I'm wondering why you felt compelled to do something.
Because there wasn't any other book. I just couldn't believe it. There was another book about an animal with the birthmark, but there had never been a book with a child with a birthmark. And we knew this, we had decided, we were just floored by that. Like, we could not believe it. And we thought about it, and then we met our illustrator, Marion Smiley, who's amazing. And it just all came together after that. And then through Kickstarter, we were able to, kind of our last piece of the puzzle was trying to figure out, if we published the book just personally, how are people going to know about it? And then doing it through Kickstarter was just like the answer to that question, and it worked out just wonderfully.
Oh, that's great. Now, one last question for you. We like to ask all of our guests, and you've been amazing. You've done so much good. We like to ask everyone to give us an impact hack, some tip that would help us to do more good in the world. What's your impact hack?
One thing that the Vascular Birthmark Foundation has also implemented is called Ask and Accept. And it's about just kids with, or anyone with a physical difference is typically, people stare at them, or what every birthmark mom hears probably at least once a week is what's on her face or what's on his face. But it's kind of in a negative way. And the Vascular Birthmark Foundation started an anti-bullying campaign called Ask and Accept. And it's okay to ask. Don't stare. Don't make fun of them. Just ask. And especially with children, once you say, oh, it's a birthmark. Actually, last week, my son, we were picking him up from school, and school started again. So he was meeting friends he had met before. And this little boy looked at me and said, "What's on his face?" And I said, "Well, don't ask me, ask him." And Barron said, "It's a birthmark." And right away, kid goes, "Oh," and just shrugged his shoulders and walked off. And that's it. It was it was just very, very telling, and just to teach your children to also be okay to ask and not stare, because that makes it like something's wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with it.
That's right. That's great. Such great counsel, such great advice. I really appreciate you sharing that insight. Martha, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today. Before you go, I want you just to take a moment and tell people how they can get a copy of the book,
Sure.
how they can connect with you and your organization and the other organizations you're part of.
Sure. You can buy Sam's Birthmark at samsbirthmark.com and also on Amazon. The great thing, though, is on samsbirthmark.com, we do something, buy a book and get a book. And so we send you, for every book you buy, we send you another one to donate to your school, doctor's office, a friend, just really to help spread birthmark awareness. And anyone can always contact me at martha@samsbirthmark.com.
Fantastic. Well, Martha, we really appreciate you taking the time to be with us today, and
Thank you.
wish you every success in continuing to build a community of strength for people that have birthmarks like Barron. We're really excited about what you're doing and want you to be completely successful.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you.
Let's do some good.